It's Sarah from Cellular Yoga here. Today's class is all about kindness. Kindness for others and also kindness for ourselves. So we're going to start with a nice smooth vinyasa flow style class, which is going to incorporate lots of back bends and also some balancing, just to open out the heart area, your heart space, and also help you really get in tune with your inner selves. And then to finish the class off, we're going to do a nice kindness meditation. So you don't need much for this class, but we are going to start off with the restorative back bend. So a couple of blocks would be great. If you haven't got these, just grab a couple of paperback books or 4 paperback books and wrap them up in a little tea towel or something, and you can get a DIY version of this. So let's get started. Okay, so with your blocks, you're going to take one at the medium height in about the middle of your mat, probably further down because I imagine you're probably a bit taller than me. And then the other one is going to go further up. This is going to go underneath your head. So just take a little bit of manoeuvring. You want the bottom one to come in line with your bottom tips of your shoulder blades, and then the other one just slips underneath your head. And then the arms can come out to the side, palms up. This is going to start to help open up through the chest. And your knees can be bent, feet flat on the floor. I quite like to knock my knees together, especially as we're just at the start of the class. However, you can slide the legs straight if that feels, right for you this morning. It's just a question of listening in, tuning in, and seeing what's going to work for your body. And then once you're comfortable, once you're there, start to connect to your breath. Inhaling, exhaling through the nose if you can. And then thinking about that 3-part inhale. So inhaling into the belly, the rib cage, the chest, and then exhaling as fully as you can. And then keep going with that, allowing your body just to soften into the support of the blocks. About halfway. And of course, if you want to, you can pause the video and keep going for 1 or 2 minutes longer. This has got to be my favourite restorative back bend of all time. It just gets the job done. And all you have to do is lie here and breathe. So can't ask for more than that. Alright, lovely guys, okay to come out. Just push yourself gently off, making sure you've got a good connection with your core, and then just place the blocks to one side. And from here we're going to come up to all fours. Okay, so come to all fours, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingers, Start to press into the finger knuckles and the finger pads. Get that connection through the whole of your palm. So you feel that energy spiraling up the arm. And then bring the weight into the shins, spread the toes, so that you can feel the weight shifting back a bit, so you're not dumping everything on your wrists. And then from here, we're going to go into a few cat-cows. So on your inhale, take the tailbone back, pull the chest through the gateway of the arms, getting that long extension of your back. And then as you exhale, moving from the tailbone, curl it down, draw the ribs in, round in the spine as much as you can, letting the head relax. Inhale and exhale. So just keep going from one to the other, noticing how your back is feeling today, noticing where the sticky spots are. For many of us it is in the mid-back area, so really concentrate on rounding that part of the spine more so than the thoracic, the upper back. Alright, we've got one more. And then we're going to move into a flowing thread the needle. So come back to all fours, and then on an inhale we're going to float the left arm up, and then exhale you're going to slide it under the right, using the whole of the exhale. And then as your inhale comes back in, just float the arm back up again. Exhale, slide it under. So this is just a very graceful movement with the breath. We're going to do 6 flowing ones, so this is 5. And 6. And the 6th one, we're actually going to hold it now, so you can settle in. And I like to use my tippy fingers to plug the top arm bone into the socket, and I find if I do that I can spiral my ribcage around a little bit better. See if you can get your breath into the left rib, or ribs I should say. Alright, and then place the right hand back down, push into it to help, float yourself back up, a nice big inhale, and then come back to tabletop position, and then we'll do the same to the other side. So again, it's just a flowing movement, inhaling up, exhaling, testing the waters first of all. So again, use your breath to dictate the depth. Try not to force anything, but see if you can just expand on your range a little bit more each time as you warm up. So the next one we're going to hold it around, so float out and then exhale, come down. The next inhale, float the arm up again, and exhale, bring it back down. Okay, so from here we're going to come into downward facing dog. Keep the knees bent for this downward facing dog, and we're going to press the hips up and back, and then you can start walking it out. And just notice how your hamstrings are feeling this morning. And keep breath nice and long. Keep the fingertips pressing down. Gently hug the forearms in. Spiral the backs of the arms towards one another. And hug the outer shoulder blades towards your under armpit area so that you've got lots of space around the back of your heart. And then from there, we're just going to step the right leg forward to the outside of your right hand. Keep the knee lifted just for a moment, the back leg, and we're just going to scooch forward and back just to get some space around the hips. So feel free to really be creative here. You can come forward and back, and then you can maybe draw little circles and then try little circles around the other way. All the time, think about really sucking the top of the leg bone into the core of the pelvis. Keep breathing. And then from there, let's take a three-legged dog. So just reach that right leg up and back, use the glutes, use the hamstrings, and then come back into your downward facing dog. And then we'll do the same to the other side. So we're going to step the left leg forward to the outside of the left hand. Keep the back knee lifted, and then just scooch forward and back. Think about that front leg bone. Just think about it sinking deep into the socket. And then from that deepness, that deep connection, you can start rolling or drawing circles. It's like you're drawing a circle with your sit bone. And then after you've done a few in one direction, try the other. Okay, and then step back into down three-legged dog and downward facing dog, and then we're going to take a little walk to the front. So again, think about sucking the leg bone into the socket, walk it forward. And you can bend the knees for this if you want to. Take an inhale. Once you get there, exhale, take a fold. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees generously, and we're going to roll up. All right. Super duper. So coming to the top of the mat. I'm going to take an inhale, raise the arms up high, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, hands to the floor, step back, plank, and drop down all the way to the floor. All right, from here, leave the hands where they are, squeeze the elbows in, and then take an inhale. Move the chest forward and up, press through the toes so your legs are active, root down through your pubic bone, curl the tailbone down. Feel that connection with your back body. Drawing the shoulder blades towards one another. And gently drawing the outer shoulder blades towards the under armpit area. Take one more breath here. And then exhale. Lower down and come back to down facing dog straight away. Take an inhale here and an exhale. And then inhale. Let's walk it forward. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Let's bring it up. Exhale, press the air away. And then I'm going to go again. Take an inhale, come on up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower to the floor. Knees up or down, you choose. And then from here, let's cross the right ankle with the over the left. Interlace the fingers. Take an inhale, press the legs down, press the pubic bone down. Pull the knuckles towards your feet, just to open the chest. Okay, inhale. Exhale, unravel. Downward facing dog. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Inhale, step to the front. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, press the air away. Okay, we're going again. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower. Knees, chest, or a little chaturanga, you choose. And then it's left over right ankle now. And then opposite little pinky on top. Take an inhale. And let's come into our snake pose on this side. Exhale to lower, downward facing dog. Take an inhale and an exhale. And then inhale, step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, and exhale. Arms down, one more round. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower down. Okay, last one. I'm going to come into a locust pose. So bring the arms out to the side and turn your thumb slightly down towards the floor. You're going to take an inhale and you're just going to raise your chest just a little bit, reaching the fingertips forward, keeping those thumbs pressing down, and then start to press the feet away, the toes until they come off the floor, and then roll the inner thighs up to the sky as you continue to lift. Feel the engagement of your glutes, your hamstrings, your inner legs. Breathe. Okay, exhale, lower, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale, walk it to the front, forward fold, inhale, come on up. All right, so we're moving on. Exhale, we're going to go straight back down. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, we're going to step the right leg back in space. Drop the knee, and you can keep the back toe curled under or you can release it. It's whatever works for you. Either way, stop to scissor the legs together, curl the butt cheeks under and bring it up into a low lunge. So press the hips forward without losing the length of your tailbone. Soften the front ribs in. Draw the hip points in and up. And then you can stay here, or if you want to take it into another back or a heart opener, interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles down towards your back knee and open up through the chest, lifting your sternum up, but keep lengthening that tailbone down. Keep connected to your inner legs, scissoring them together. Alright, and then from there, hands to the floor, pick up the back knee, take an inhale, find plank. Exhale, knees, chest or chaturanga. Cobra or an up dog if you want to take it further, and then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, and then from there we're going to step the right leg to the front, drop the left knee. Okay, toes curled under or not, you choose. Send those butt cheeks down and bring yourself up into a low lunge again. Second side. So again, really connect to your inner legs. As you lengthen the tailbone, soften the front ribs in, energize up through the arms, and then stay here or interlace the fingers, and if you can do the other bind, the opposite finger on top, little pinky on top, do have a go. And then we're opening up through the sternum as you continue to send that tailbone down. All right, lovely. Release, hands to the floor, and step back, downward facing dog. Okay, from here, inhale, the left leg up high. Exhale, use your core to step it forward. So see how far you can pull the knee forward and up towards your chest, and then step it through. You may be surprised on how much further you can get the foot. And then spin the back foot flat, and then we'll windmill the right arm up, bending into that front leg for warrior two. So keep this back leg nice and strong by rooting into that back foot and pressing the top of the thigh back. As you press the top of the thigh back, lengthen the tailbone down, draw the front ribs in, and then come into your pose for today. Just take a few breaths here. And then take a lovely big inhale. Let's find a reverse. So slide the right arm down, left arm up. And get as much space and breath into the front ribs as you can. And then inhale, straighten the legs. Okay, press into the front big toe mounts very strongly. Lift up through the muscles at the front of your thigh. And then take an inhale, slide the torso over the front leg, come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. And you can gaze at your thumb, you can gaze ahead at me, or you can just relax your neck down towards the floor. Just do what feels comfortable. And then on an inhale, we're going to come up, and then we're going to turn the left toes in and the right toes out, coming into goddess pose. Alright, so just sink it down. Pressing your knees towards the back of the mat. Lengthening your tailbone down and scooching those glutes under, so you can really, really feel them working to stabilize your pelvis. And the more you scooch the glutes under, the more space you'll have to lower. Okay, so this is a pose about inner strength, of just perseverance, just like the warrior poses. So they're great poses to do for getting connected and strong within ourselves. Okay, so come on up, turn the toes in so that the little pinky side of the foot is parallel with the sides of your mat. We're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to come forward into a forward fold. Let's take a moment to allow your body to soften into the pose. Keep the feet working well. Imagine that you are hugging the inner thighs up towards the pubic bone and then towards the back of your mat. That will give you a little bit more space. And then bring the left hand to the middle. Wait for an exhale. We're going to take it into a little twist. Inhale. And then exhale, float the left arm up, and bring it down. Two more. breaths. So we're not rushing this today, we're enjoying moving with the breath and also finding some stillness with our poses. So walk it back to the front. Take in a nice runner's lunge and then exhale, downward facing dog. You can take it through vinyasa if you want to, inhaling into plank, exhaling knees, chest or chaturanga, inhaling into your back bend of choice, and then exhaling downward facing dog, or just simply hang out in down dog. Alright, so let's take it to the other side. Inhale, right leg up, and then exhale. Take a moment, find a little work for our core. Stepping that right leg forward, spinning the back foot flat, coming up to warrior two on this side. Alright, so take a moment to settle into it. Making sure both legs are nice and strong. Finding your inner strength. And then let's take it inhale, let's find the reverse on this side. You're reaching the right arm up, sinking the right hip down at the same time, or the right sit bone I should say. And then take an inhale, straighten the leg, come into Trikonasana on this side. Again, you decide what you do with your head and your neck. Just make sure that you are doing what works for your body today, following the signals it's given you. Alright, take an inhale, come on up, right foot slightly forward, left heel back. Let's try goddess pose again. Excuse my back as we sink down into this one. Lengthen the tailbone down. Maybe you got a little bit more space this time. Maybe you want to try some different arms. So you can have cactus arms, you can have the hands in prayer. And also reach up if you want to. See what feels good. Got a couple more breaths here. And then come on up. Turn the toes in. And then we're coming back into our forward fold. So hinge from the hips, bring yourself down. And then what I forgot to mention for the first side is that you can place your hands on the bricks if you like for a little bit of height if you're not quite reaching the ground. Alright, let's take it into that little twist sequence. So left hand on the floor, wait for an exhale, turn from the navel up, float the right arm up, inhale to center, and let's take it to the other side. 2 more times. Okay, let's walk it to the front and step it forward. Take a forward fold and then inhale. Arms up high, exhale, press the air away. Okay, so from here we're going to come into a little balance sequence. So we're going to start off with tree pose, and then we're going to move it into warrior three. And we're going to come into a lunge, and then we're going to come back to the front. So quite a lot of work on one leg, but I find balancing really does the trick to help you bring yourself, into a more internal and connected space with yourself. So I'm going to start balancing on the left foot, and then just pick up that right knee and just take a few moments just to Get a little bit of juice happening in that right hip. And then you choose which tree post is going to work for you today. So you can have your foot on the floor, you can have your foot on the shin, or you can have it up on your inner thigh. Just make sure you don't put it on the knee. Really root into that left foot to get some lift through the spine. Bring the palms together. And just enjoy. Okay, this is where the fun begins. We're going to release the right foot, and then you can keep your hands in prayer, or you can stretch them forwards or out to the side or back like a plane. Do whatever feels good. The key is just reach that right leg back, roll the inner thigh up, lengthen your trunk up and over the hips. Right, okay, if we're on there, let's take a lunge. I'm off my mat, sorry. Take an inhale. And then bring the hands back together again. Push into your front foot. And bring it up. And then give it a shake out. Alright, so if you fall out, don't worry about it. It's part of the fun of balancing, and as you see, I had a big wobble there. Alright, it's all part of the fun. Okay, let's try the second side. So pick up the left leg and then do a little figure of 8. So you're basically internal and externally rotating that hip. And then you're externally rotating to get into your tree pose. Okay, whatever you did to the first side, or during the first side, oops, do it to the second side. Alright. Root down through your right foot this time. Soften the front ribs in, lengthen the tailbone down. Bring the palms together. Alright, here we go, release the foot and then send it back. So trunk comes forward, up and over that front hip, and take the left leg back, spinning the inner thigh up as though you want to kick a door shut. That's how strong that back leg needs to be. Oops, and if you come out, just like I just did then, just bring yourself back when you are ready. Alright, and then as carefully as you can, come into high lunge. Take 3 breaths here. And then hands back to prayer, bring the weight into the front foot. Bring that knee forward and up, that left knee, and then shake it out. Well done, super job. Okay, so from here we're going to bring it down to the mat. So we're just going to take a little vinyasa. So inhaling up and high with the arms. Exhaling, taking your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower. Back bend, cobra or up dog. And then exhale, down dog. Okay, lower down. All right, and then from here, I'm going to come into camel pose. Beautiful, beautiful back bend, one of my favourite ones. So we're going to come up to high knee and do a little prep work before we really get going to wake up leg muscles, which obviously support this pose. So bring the arms out and plug the arm bones into the socket. All right, and you can imagine that you've got a brick or something between your arms to keep them nice and strong. And if you want, if your brick is handy, you can actually, you know, pick it up and place it between your palms if you wish. Okay, so from there, press the toes down, press the shins down, loop the glutes under, lengthen the tailbone towards the floor. Feel the engagement of the back and front of your legs. And then all we're going to do is going to take an inhale, we're going to come back. Then exhale, come forward. Now if you want to do the reverse breathing, that's fine. Breathing is more important than whether you're inhaling or exhaling during this. I find it easier to inhale as I come back, but if it's easier for you to do the opposite, that's absolutely fine. Okay, one more time. And come back. All right. Release the block if you were using it. And I'm going to curl the toes under. Fire up those legs again and take your hands behind your pelvis. Gently squeeze the elbows in and think about plugging the arm bones back into the socket. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, I want you to imagine there's a string pulling your heart up towards the ceiling. And as it pulls your heart up towards the ceiling, your tailbone lengthens down, your hips press forward, your thighs press forward, and you come up and over, up and over. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. And then to come out chin to chest and bring yourself up and release just for a moment. Now if that was okay and you want to take it further, then we'll go on to the next stage. Otherwise just repeat that move 2 more times. Alright, so we're coming up. Hands behind your pelvis. Switch the back legs, the front legs on, lengthen that tailbone. And then wait for an inhale. And you're lifting up and over an imaginary barrel behind your upper back. Everything else stays still. And then stay here or release the hands onto your heels. Come out chin to chest, bring yourself up and then lower down. All right. Okay, so we're going to do it one more time, and I'm going to give you the option of not coming up on your toes. You can actually flatten the feet to the floor. It does make it a deeper back bend, but if your back is saying nice messages to you so far, then you know you can go ahead and do that variation. Otherwise stick with keeping the toes curled under. All right, last time, here we go. Come into the first position, and remember you can stay here absolutely fine. You're still opening the heart, you're still doing a lovely back bend. Otherwise, start it off, move nice and slowly. And then choose your position. Chin to chest, bring it up and come back down just for a moment. Backbends are very invigorating, so it's always a good idea just to come back to kneeling before you go on to anything else. So a couple more breaths here. Lovely. And then we're going to bring it into a child's pose. So just big toes together, open the knees. And just let yourself come forward. Rest the forehead down. And get your breath into the back of your heart. So in this space here, got 5 breaths here. All right. And then from there, we're going to come into a child's pose, thread the needle. So it's exactly the same as what we did earlier, except we're lower down. So just take the left arm, we're going to thread it under the right. 5 breaths. Come back to centre. And then we'll take it to the other side. All right, well done. Come back to child's pose just for a moment. And then bring yourself up. Okay, so from here, I'm going to come into a seated position, although you can lie down for this as well. So we are moving on to the meditation side now. So we're going to do a kindness meditation. So I will talk you through this one. All you need to do is make sure that you have found a comfortable position, whether that's lying down or seated. I invite you to close your eyes and reconnect to your body and your breath. And just for a few moments, we're going to just help ourselves really go inwards. So all I want you to do is watch your breath. When it comes in, say to yourself, in. When it goes out, say to yourself, out. In, out. And as you do this, however long you have meditated, you will get thoughts entering your mind. The key is not to attach to them. Imagine instead they are clouds passing you by. from here, I want you to start to picture somebody special in your life. Picture them in your mind's eye. And repeat mentally the words that I will say to you now. May you be well. May you be happy. May you find peace. May you be well. May you be happy. May you find peace. And if someone else crops into your mind, which you want to repeat this mantra to, then please do so. Allow them to fill your mind's eye, and then internally say, may you be well, may you be happy, may you find peace. And then we'll do it now for the whole of the universe. Strangers we haven't met, plants, maybe the animals as well. You let it go as expansive as you wish. And we'll repeat it again. May you be well. May you be happy. May you find peace. May you be well. May you be happy. May you find peace. And then finally, we will direct this mantra for ourselves. So take a moment to connect to you. May I be well. May I be happy. May I find peace. May I be well. May I be happy. May I find peace. And then from there, let the mantra go. Allow yourself to start to come back to the real world. Notice where your body is in space. And take a couple of deep breaths for me now, inhaling. Exhaling, just sigh it away. One more time, inhaling. Exhaling.